You see they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the pilgrims were good to Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mulford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Amen, somebody. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, sir.
You've got a responsibility to go back to Lodabar. Your work's not done just because you made it to the palace. Bless the name of the Lord. But you've got a responsibility to help somebody else make it across. Thank you, Jesus. Don't pull up the ladder because you climbed to the top. Don't blow up the bridge because you made your way across. Thank you, Jesus. But reach your hand back down the ladder and pull somebody else up out of Lodabar. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. 90.7 WTCC. Good morning and welcome to the Spoken Word. I'm your host, Bishop Talbot Swan II. And as usual, we'll be telling it like it is through cultural idioms and nuances that shape the order, ethos, and chaos of the African American experience. Words have their own vitality, they shape their own consciousness, and create their own context for interpreting social and spiritual reality. The spoken word contains the power to reshape the landscape of society. 3 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m., I want to thank Mr. Kenneth Barnett for bringing us up until the 9 o'clock hour with the promise. You can hear the promise every Monday morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., bringing you the best in gospel music. Good way to start out your Monday morning. Great way to start out your week. And, well, it's a new year, y'all. It's 2023. I lost my voice, as you can tell. So y'all pray for me as I move through this radio show, as I did through preaching on yesterday. Sounded kind of raspy and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it comes with the territory. It happens every now and then. 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781. And since it is a new year, I want to talk about what are the Black priorities for 2023. What is it that we ought to be working on? Are we going to get the same old empty promises from those that we continue to support and vote for and give our money and votes to? Or are we going to demand more and hold them accountable for prioritizing a Black agenda in 2023? Y'all tell me. Because it seems to be kind of like this never-ending cycle where we keep getting told, vote for us, and this time after this election, we're going to prioritize the issues of concern for the Black community. And then there's always an excuse in terms of, well, we don't have enough people, to make that happen just yet. So just vote for us again, and we'll do it the next time. And then we get the same old story
the next time around. It happened to us in 2016 and 2018 and 2020. And now we're going to see whether or not the 2022 election is going to give us those same results of yeah, you voted for us, but we don't have just enough um, to make it happen for you. So, hit us up next time. Do better in terms of what you give us next time. And then we'll try to do better by you. Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. Or are we ever just sick of the same results? Or are we, you know, are we just people who like to get that kind of punishment? I don't know. You tell me. Good morning, caller. Let's see. Good morning, caller.
Oh, good morning, Bishop. How are you this morning?
I'm fair to middling.
That's what I always say. That's that old school way. I wanted to, and I heard your statement, and I'm going to speak on that. I want to give a shout out, though, to Queen Vicky Dillard. Today is her birthday. And,
All right. Happy birthday, Queen Vicky.
okay, woke up with just so much magic in there. I dreamed I was meeting with an angel, Bishop. I was meeting with an angel.
All right.
But anyways, I want to say this for me. I feel like, you know, when you think about at least the projection of what we saw when I saw the movie about Malcolm X that Denzel did, when I think about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the kind of love that they had for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's the kind of love I have for Queen Vicky, and I can't even explain it. I've never even met the woman in person, but there's this affinity, this love, like you would kill for this person. Now, my goal in 2023 is to be a greater support to people like her, you, the Black media, and Black businesses in general, because I believe that while we wait for, I say, the God to bring true justice, because one thing Vicky always says is there's a changing of the guard and there's a changing of the God. And it may look like we're begging the white man for reparations, but really we're making a just demand for what's owed to us. And
There you go. There you go. It's old. That's right.
all the heavens and the earth are conspiring on our behalf because we are standing in the good that we have been called to walk in. So when you know that and you become woke to that, and it's almost like how they try to make being awakened a negative thing, like nigga, go back to sleep, will you? You know what I mean? So for me, my thing is, God, continue to wake me up to my best self. Continue to show me the way to support myself and others so that as this world is changing, I do believe that what the minister said when I look at the weather, when I look at what's going on around this country, I do believe when God gets done with Pharaoh that he's going to let us go and be the great people that we are. And I just want to say that to you this morning. Love you, Bishop.
All right. Love you back. Take care. 413-736-2781. Tell a friend, tell somebody Bishop is on the air right now. Jump on into the Twitter space, share, rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. We're going to talk about what are the Black priorities for 2023. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And oh, yeah, to all of y'all that be sleeping on my Pittsburgh Steelers. You know who you are. You know who you are. Y'all was talking mad junk when we were 2-6. Hey, y'all ain't gonna make the playoffs this, and we may not, but we're in the playoff hunt. Can you believe that? And it's like the universe bends toward Mike Tomlin not getting a losing season. They ought to skip the waiting period and just put him in the Hall of Fame. Okay, 16 years, no losing seasons, and in the playoff hunt after the start and all the challenges he had this year, man, you can't tell me he's not a Hall of Fame coach. Come on, man. And to you Ravens fans, I'm talking to you, Bishop Joe Lyles. I'm talking to you, Bishop William McMillan. I'm talking to you, Whitney, my daughter. All you Ravens fans, yeah, what happened to your boys last night? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
This is Darlene Elias. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How you doing, Bishop Kwan?
I'm good. You?
Good. I'm calling just to make this comment in regards to the political agenda or political climate that we're in right now. My concern is here the condition of society, what we're going through right now. We have a lot of people out there hurting, Bishop. A lot of people are hurting. They're homeless. They can't eat. They can't keep food on the table. They can't get quality health care. There's so many things. They can't educate themselves. They can't keep a calm zone. They can't have a job. And I think that part of the Black agenda is just that, because those kind of issues in society are disproportionately affecting people of color, people out there who are struggling day to day. And I think that we need to make demands from those politicians who are, kind of calling the shots. Those shot callers need to be held accountable, because unless we have, unless the disparities in society, we need, then they're not going to have our vote, right? I don't think they are clear on how important that is. It's very easy for them to, pay for Ukraine and billions of dollars.
60 billion that should have been used for reparations.
Absolutely. And, to kind of, funnel that back into our communities, right? So that people can have some dignity, right? Live in a decent way. Those things are not happening. We need to, gather together, and we need to exert that collective power, that collective conscience as a community to make demand.
Absolutely. Appreciate your call, Darlene. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
413-736-2781. Let me get Don't Stop up in here. Y'all know I always gotta play that to motivate y'all. This first Monday of the new year, we're coming back. We're talking about Black priorities in 2023. Don't go nowhere. Tell a friend, tell somebody Bishop is on the air. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
But the essence of growth has changed. The being in the road will be the end of the road if you refuse to change. Reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher, come on, yeah. Dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Come on, don't stop. The essence of life is growth. The essence of growth is change. The being in the road will be the end of the road if you refuse to change. Your life will never change until you get disgusted of where you are. Whatever you don't hate is what you tolerate. You must learn from the past, plan for the future, and live for today. For it is your daily routine that determines your success or failure in life. It's the choices that you have made up until this point that will determine the rest of your life. So break the cycle that doing enough is simply good enough. You only get out what you put in, so don't settle for the crumbs when you can have a whole loaf. So push yourself beyond your limitations. Come on. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Don't stop. Don't stop. Come on. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Go a little further. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. So you gotta break the routine of trying to beat the system. Manipulators will always try to bypass the process for the quick progress. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no elevators to the top. You gotta take it one step at a time. You gotta break the routine of allowing others to get into your head and control who you are and where you're going. You see, when you're about the positive, you're going to always have haters. But don't let your haters push you down. Let your haters push you forward to the next level. So when people show you who they really are, don't perceive them to be something else that they're not. See, a zebra does not change his stripes. So you got to keep pushing yourself to the next level. Yeah, there you go. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Go a little further. Go a little further. Come on. Don't stop. Come on. Yeah. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Go a little further. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got to understand the greatness is the nature that you were born out of. You'll never discover your greatness without hard work and dedication. Greatness says more about who you are and what you expect for yourself. And greatness will always attract greatness. Show me your friends and I'll show you the future. The future. You're just a step away. You're just a step away. You're just a step away. Don't ever give up. Come on. You're just a step away. You're almost there. Come on. You got to push yourself beyond your limitations. You see, there's no mountain too high, no valley too low. You can go where you want to go. It's all in the power of your imagination. If you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. So stretch yourself. Take yourself to the next level. Come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Don't stop, don't stop. Come on, yeah. Come on. Come on. Blessings are coming your way.
90.7 WTCC. This is I Like What I See by Rhonda Swan. Coming right back, talking about Black Priorities 2023. Tell somebody Bishop is on the air. Let's go. Happy New Year.
A strong, beautiful Black woman staring back at me. One who's seen a lot of pain and had her share of sorrow, but who never gave up hope for a brighter tomorrow. I've been lied to, cheated on, stolen from and hit, but it just made me stronger and I refuse to quit. That's right. And though I've been tempted, I refuse to stoop to their level. Don't go down. I rose above that nonsense and made a liar of the devil. All right now. The devil who said I wasn't good enough, cute enough, or worthy of love, I kicked his butt with divine power from above. Power that says I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me and brought me out of darkness so that I could see that I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm a child of the King. Abundant love for me he came to bring. Oh yes, when I look in the mirror, I love what I see. That strong, beautiful Black woman, that woman is me.
.7 WTCC. Good morning, everybody out there in the Pioneer Valley, and to everybody that's live over the internet, whatever platform you're listening to us on. Sorry about my raspy voice. You know, it is what it is. When you use it for a living, sometimes you lose it. And, you know, is what it is. I need some fisherman friends. I meant to get some yesterday, but forgot. And so anyway, we'll work through it. We'll work through it. 2023. What are our priorities in this new year? What are your priorities in this new year? Personally, professionally, for your community, otherwise, holler at me. Tell me what they are. 413-736 2781 413-736-2781. Like I said, every couple of years, we're told over and over again on the political landscape that, if you vote for us, put us in office, we'll do something for you. And we get let down over and over again. It's been more than 2 years, 2.5 years it's been, since the murder of George Floyd, all of those national protests. Y'all remember we hit the streets in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic, debating political promises, all kinds of commitments were made. There was this increased national attention on racial inequality. But for the most part, it has not led to changes that have improved the lives of Black people. All right? And equality for Black people in this nation is still not likely to be achieved. Now, this is a reversal of viewpoints that people had in 2020. They thought that these nationwide and global protests against injustice were going to bring about some substantive changes. It was going to bring about police reform and accountability. We were going to have a real dialogue about reparations and what is owed to Black people. But that kind of blew over. And here we are in 2023. In the next 4 months, it'll be 3 years since the George Floyd murder. And we will not be able to point to any significant legislative action, policy, changes as a result of the spotlight being on anti-Black systemic racism. In 3 years, we won't be able to point to any substantive change. So far, all we got out of this was the recognition of Juneteenth as a national holiday. All right? We got them saying to us, you know what? Give us more seats in Congress and we'll do more for you. And over 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 and over, we get the same promises. We get the promises, y'all. But we don't get the substance that should come along with those promises. And so here we are, still in 2023, concerned about racial discrimination and its impact. And, Pew Research did a study and they found out that 8 in 10 Black people say they have personally experienced discrimination because of their race. 8 out of 10. So for those of y'all who keep talking about racism doesn't exist, 80% of Black people are telling you that they have personally experienced it. Okay? And so here we are still talking about it, still trying to figure out, still trying to bring reparations to the forefront in terms of at least a conversation about it. And then like on Friday, I was on the radio and the caller called in and wanted to know, well, how would that look? How are you going to figure out what to give in reparations. And I told the caller that question only comes up when it comes to talking about reparations for Black Americans, because they figure it out with everybody else. When they decided to give reparations to Japanese Americans for being interned during World War II, they figured out a dollar amount and gave the money away. When it came time to compensate slave owners, in case y'all didn't know, America compensated slave owners for the loss of their slaves. They came up with a dollar figure and they paid it. Britain just paid off the debt. When Britain abolished slavery in the 1800s, they borrowed money to compensate slave owners for the loss of property. They just paid off that loan in 2016. 189 years it took. How much money was that? It took them 189 years to pay off. I mean, generation after generation after generation were paying money to compensate white slave owners. So when it comes to compensating others, America and the rest of the world, they figure it out. But then when it comes to compensating Black Americans, it's always, well, how are we going to figure that out? When it came time to paying white folks for COVID, y'all pulled trillions of dollars out your behind. Gave money to millionaires and billionaires. Okay? Gave away money. You know, when white folks are in trouble, they'll find money anywhere. Because don't think that COVID relief money and those PPP loans and stuff was for us. The reason they were able to go and find trillions of dollars was to save white folks. You better believe that. But then whenever it comes to Black Americans and what's owed to us, as the caller said, we're talking about a debt that's owed. We're not talking about a handout. We're not talking about some entitlement or something. No, we're talking about a debt that is owed for labor that our ancestors were not compensated for. Okay? And my thing is, if the Democrats are not willing to vociferously push the agenda of reparations, we ought to stop voting for them at a 95% clip. And I don't care. I don't care that what they'll say is reparations can't get passed. Republicans will block it. It doesn't have the support. And they'll use that as the excuse just to not push the envelope, not to push the agenda, not to talk about it. To me, that's a lame excuse not to push the agenda. Y'all remember when Trump got in office and they were talking about repealing Obamacare? Let me look it up real quick because I want to underscore the number of times. Now, the Republicans knew they could not repeal Obamacare. They knew they didn't have the votes. But here's the thing. They never stopped trying. They never stopped talking about it. They didn't say, well, because we don't have the votes, you know, we're not going to put it forth. And they continued and continued and continued and continued 70 times. From the time Trump took office in 2017, during that Congress, they brought repealing Obamacare to a vote 70 times, knowing it was going to fail. 70 times. Democrats won't bring reparations to a vote one time. You see, my thing, I don't care if it's going to fail. Put people on the record, Democrat and Republican. Make them vote. Put them on the record as supporting it or opposing it. Put them on the record. But they won't do that. Even just think about it now, because listen, we just came out of a congressional season in 2020. Y'all, black voters, y'all gave Democrats the House and the Senate. They could have brought anything to the floor they wanted to. They could have brought reparations to the floor for a vote. They never did. They never did. Why is that? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, Bishop Juan and Darlene again. Listen, this is such an interesting topic, one that gets me going. I have a question for you. I voted for Obama, and I had, a lot of faith in Obama. And my question to you is, I felt like he should have been dealing with this issue of race discrimination and reparations. Why do you think it is that he did not do that?
So let me. I'll give you two answers. The first answer has to deal with his first term in office. During his first term in office, I was feeling like Obama was walking on eggshells when dealing with issues that were specific to black people, with dealing with race issues, because he knew that the coalition he needed to reelect him, he would break up that coalition and potentially risk not being reelected. So I had the hope that, okay, when he gets reelected during his second term, he's gonna go for broke. He's because, hey, that's it. He can only serve 2 terms. He's gonna try to put forth every effort to raise the issues of systemic racism. He's going to have his Justice Department go after all of these people who need to be indicted. He's going to push the issue of reparations and all that. He never did. I have no answer as to why he didn't do it during his second term, and I was highly disappointed in Barack Obama and the fact that he did not push the envelope for black people during his second term in office. So I think a lot of people were disappointed in him as well.
I was so disappointed, and then particularly during the time of the riots and the protests, and I just felt that was his time to step up, and take some action that would, be of substance. But
the other thing is this, and people got all up in arms about George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and so many other horrific extrajudicial murders of black people during Trump's tenure in office. I often remind them the Trayvon Martins, the Mike Browns, the Eric Garners, and so many others that were murdered during Obama's tenure in office. And I point them to the fact that Obama's Justice Department, under the leadership of a black man, Eric Holder, failed to indict. They didn't indict the cop that murdered Mike Brown. They didn't indict Zimmerman in the murder of Trayvon Martin. They didn't indict a number of people and bring them up on federal charges. And that was Obama's Department of Justice. So there was an abject failure of the black community by that administration that people don't want to come to grips with, but it is a reality.
I still have hope for the future, and I'm hoping for another elected Black president or Latino president that does take some of these issues on. There's often talk of Kamala Harris being that person, possibly. But I also think that they're not going to take that step, and they're not going to take that leap unless the Black community asserts their influence. And that's my comment for today. Nice talking to you. Bye.
All right. 413-736-2781. Let me put that up on the screen. I just realized I don't have it on the screen. And for 2.5 years, y'all were used to a different number because I was broadcasting from the man cave. But I'm now back in the studio. So let me get that up there. For those of you who are watching us, those of you who are listening, 413-736-2781. Let me see. M1 in the Twitter space. M1. Don't know what that stands for, but you got the microphone. Unmute your mic and holler at us.
Oh,
Give me the microphone first so I could bust like a bubble. Go ahead,
absolutely,
M1.
sure.
How you doing? Good morning.
Sure.
Yes. We're here, man. We're here. We hear you. All right. I don't know what's going on. M1. Let me see. All right, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, he was talking. M1, I'll give you another shot. Unmute your mic. We were hearing you, man. Come on now. All right. Well, M1 is having some difficult.
Hello, Bishop.
Yes.
Yeah, afternoon. I just want to tell you that I see your tweets every day. I'm from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I really like what you do. It's very, very inspirational. You opened my heart to like a lot of things. I really appreciate it. And I've done a lot of research. Both the Democrat and the Republican Party are anti-black progress. Like neither party want to see black people progress.
Right, I agree. Oftentimes people use the analogy and say the duopoly, the two-party system in America, are two wings on the same bird. Yeah.
And I'm also gonna say this: Democrats cannot relate to black people because, aside to my personal research, how many Democratic politicians' kids are actually married to black people? Zero. These people are forever not going to be able to relate to black people. So they just keep lying during them election seasons. You see them taking pictures with black people, and after them election, you just like they don't care about us.
Yeah.
You see them keep taking pictures. Neither party can relate to black people because they don't have in-laws that are black. Like they don't have anything. Like they don't have any black person that they're related to. Even the Democrats, like, will scream all equality. How many of them's kids are married to black people? How many of them do you think are gonna let their kids marry black people? None.
Yeah, well, I'm not even. I don't think that really makes a difference because there's a whole lot of folks that are married to black people and still can't relate to black people and are still anti-black. How often do people say I can't be racist because my husband or my wife is black or I got black kids or something like that? And it runs the gamut, man. Donald Sterling had a black girlfriend. Ted Danson was dating Whoopi Goldberg when he was running around in blackface. I could just go on and on with the list of white folks who had relationships with black people, but it didn't make a difference in terms of their racism. 413-736-2781. Priorities for 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. Where should we be going? What should we be pushing for? How should we be strategizing around ensuring that we hold those accountable, that we give our money to, that we shop with, that we vote for, that we support in pushing an agenda that advances the causes that are important to our community? Or are we perfectly willing to continue to give away our votes to people who won't listen to our voice? You know, that gets old, y'all. When are we going to stop doing that? I got grandchildren now, man. I've been saying this since I was a student, you know, on a college campus as a student activist. And now here I am, a father and a grandfather. One of my younger children is graduating this year from the same college that I went to. My oldest granddaughter is in high school, playing basketball for Central High School. She'll soon, in a few years, be graduating. So generations we've been saying this. When does it end, y'all? When does it end? When do we quit going round and round in the same circle? You know, there's that saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. 413-736-2781. Rep your city, rep your town. I didn't shout y'all out, so let me go back and see who's up in the place. I see my daughter has arrived. I don't know if you were listening earlier, Whitney, but I was talking smack to all of you Ravens fans because y'all lost yesterday. And y'all lost to my Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay? Just in case you didn't know, in case you fell asleep during the game, in case you just didn't watch no games yesterday, you know what I'm saying. All that kind of stuff. I just figured I'd let y'all know. You know, I text a couple of my Bishop friends that are Ravens fans, and I told them that weeping may endure for a night, and that I pray that they find some joy this morning. Oh boy, I gotta gloat a little while. You know, it's been a rough season for us. It's been a rough season for us. So I got to gloat because nobody thought that the Steelers would be on the verge of having a winning season and potentially making the playoffs based on how we started. Y'all just go in and put Mike Tomlin in the Hall of Fame. Go and put him in the Hall of Fame, y'all. I see Milwaukee in the house. I see you, cousin. Milwaukee's in the house. Chicago's in the house. Come on, rep your city, rep your town. Where else we coming in from here? Come on. I saw Houston in the building. Maryland is always up in the building. H-Town, Alabama. Yeah. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. What should our priorities be for 2023? What is this that Cal said? We got an 18% chance of making the playoffs. We got a chance. Don't sleep. If you got a 1% chance, it's a chance. It's a chance. And we'll see what happens. Bottom line is this. Y'all never saw us being where we are right now based on all the challenges we had, the rebuilding, the injuries, the new quarterback. You didn't see us even having this kind of season. And now we're on the verge of potentially making the playoffs. And don't sleep on us because if you recall, let me find out. Let me give you a little bit of history. See, y'all got me turning Y'all got me turning my attention to football when I'm supposed to be talking about something more substantive. But I just want to remind my son-in-law, Cal Lee, of a certain season. I want to make sure I got the right season. Just to tell you that the history is there. Do not sleep on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me see. What year was it? Was it 2005? Anyway, you remember now the Steelers were a wild card, barely made the playoffs, and went on to win the Super Bowl. So that 18% chance is a chance to win the bowl. All right, that's how dangerous they are. Mess around, let them get in the playoffs. Come February, we'll be talking about why they got 7 Super Bowl rings. All right, let me get back. Let me back up. Let me back up. Let me back up and get back on subject. 413-736-2781. Shari, DC. You got the microphone. Holler at me. Shari, tell me how to pronounce your name.
Cherie is Cherie DC. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you?
I'm well. Thank you. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes, I appreciate this space. I love it. I heard a couple of other callers were talking about how to hold, sitting senators and legislators, how to hold them accountable. But I think we're past that. I think we're at the point where we need to find grassroots candidates, cultivate them, support them, finance their campaigns so we can get them in office. I'm sure you're aware of Brother Greg Marcel Dixon out of South Carolina, who ran against
Clyburn.
We need more people like that. I'll be 40 in 2023. There's no reason anybody should be in office that's been there my whole life. Like we're past that. They've proven over and over again they're not going to wait till they get behind closed doors and then talk the right talk or do the right things. Like absolutely not. We need to get them out of office, get some new blood in there that really holds reparations number one. And putting us first, period, because nobody else is doing that. And at this point, my vote is for sale. I don't have any allegiance to Democrats. I'll talk to some Republicans. Who's going to do for us?
Well, you know what?
Stop trying to guilt us.
One of the things that I said was when people, they're talking about vote blue no matter who. I tell people all the time, I don't vote blue or red. I vote black. Okay? Whatever's in the best interest of black people. That's how I vote. And that's how we all should vote.
Exactly. There's not going to be any shaming about you voting this party or that party because neither one of them thinking about us. Somebody's got to come to the table with tangibles. So my vote is for sale. And I say get some new blood in there. Thank you for letting me speak.
All right. Appreciate you. 413-736-2781. If you're in the Twitter space, let's get Ryder. I don't know how to pronounce y'all name. So I'm going to call you R. The R. You got the microphone. You're in the space. Unmute and holler at me. Good morning. Good morning.
I got gotten ready. I'm sorry.
Excuse me? Okay, you're a clown, I see. Always somebody got to be a clown. And I'm not surprised because, you always get these white supremacist trolls who, the shame of it is all that white privilege y'all got, and you ain't got nothing better to do than to troll spaces where black people talk. I mean, so you got control of the country. You got control of every police department. You got control of the Supreme Court, all of that. And you also want to control black people's conversations. by dipping your ignorant behind up in our spaces. Y'all really need to get a life. Seriously. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Bishop.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, we're talking about reparations there, and I just wanted to say that we got reparations right here, but we have not went to get them. They've been giving them away to folks that they're not even meant for. Biden gave the state of Massachusetts money for us. The governor gave it to the city here, and our mayor went on ahead and come up with some type of program that is not for us. We have figured, black folks have figured out that we all could have got $600 and some dollars, every resident of Springfield. And they didn't do that.
Now, are you talking about ARPA money? What money are you talking about was for reparations?
It wasn't for, I'm saying it is. They don't have to call it reparations, but we can look at it as part of our reparations.
Yeah, but see, let me push back. Let me push back a little bit, because I want to make sure that we understand reparations as a debt that is owed to black people for uncompensated labor, and for the systemic atrocities that our people have gone through in these yet to be United States for 400 years. So I want to separate that from the American Rescue Plan Act, and from any other types of monies that have gone to municipalities. Reparations is specifically for black people.
Oh, yes, Bishop, I understand that. That was that ARP money that I was referring to. And no, it's not true reparations. They're not calling it that. And they're not going to give us no reparations. What I'm talking about is take what you can get. Take it. Take and add it all together. Like I say, I take every penny here and there and everywhere. And when I put it together, it's powerful. And that's all I'm saying. Put that with that old Obama phone. And thank you for discussing the Steelers this morning too, Bishop.
All right. Appreciate you. 413-736-2781. Happy New Year. It's 2023, y'all. 2023. What are our priorities? All right. We're going to see the same old stuff. We're going to be talking about the same thing, because come next year, you're going to add a presidential election to all your congressional elections and all of that. This year, here in Springfield, we've got municipal elections. The mayor's seat is up for election, the city council and the school committee. So you got local elections that are happening. Are we going to do the same thing? Vote blue no matter who? You know, the lesser of two evils. I like what the sister was saying, Cherie, in terms of grooming and honing and supporting our own grassroots candidates. Because you can run them on whatever party platform you want to run them. But if you get your own people in there that you can hold accountable, that's the best case scenario. So, I agree with that strategy. Which means we've got to start supporting people in more than lip service. Sometimes black folks, you got to write a check. You got to put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is, or you ain't saying a Only old people will get that. We write checks for everything else. We spend money. Look, you buying Louis and Gucci and Fendi, you can make a donation to a political campaign. All right? Stop playing. Stop playing. Yeah, we got to fund grassroots candidates and organizations and movements that advance the causes of our people. So get ready to write a check somewhere in 2023 and stop being cheap, because y'all ain't cheap when it come to other stuff. Spending money you don't have to impress people you don't even like. Woo! All right, let me get Benjamin up in the Twitter space. Benjamin, holler at me. And I hope it's not another prank.
Hey, Bishop, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, hey, first of all, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Same to you.
I appreciate that, and hope you have a really happy 2023. I've got two questions for you, Bishop. Who is going to win the Super Bowl, and why is it going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers?
You said who's going to win, and what's the second question?
Why is it going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, well, I guess you just answered your first question by asking the second question.
Yeah, you got me, Bishop. You got me.
There you go. I agree. I touch and agree with you on that.
I hear you. All right. Hey, I agree with Cherie. We need to fund some grassroots candidates. And I totally agree with you that the number one priority is those reparations checks. I mean, how long has it been? How long has it been since America promised the families
40 acres
of slaves?
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long has it been? Yeah, look, hey, we can all cough up a few bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And add 155 years of interest on that.
Exactly. Hey, exactly. Yep.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
All right. Love you, Bishop.
All right. Take care.
All right, you too.
413-736-2781. A couple more minutes left in the program. If you're looking for a place to worship, check us out at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ. 35 Alden Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. The Brick Church right there at Six Corners. 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Monday I'll be on the radio. See, I'm getting all mixed up. 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. All right. 11 a.m. on Sunday, our worship experience. Be a part of that. We do our virtual Bible studies on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. And look forward to fellowshipping with you soon and very soon. In the next week or so, we'll start announcing our Lift Every Voice lecture series. Don't sleep on that. It's coming up. It's coming. Let me get Moonrise in here. Moonrise, you can now speak. Holla. Moonrise. Rise, shine, give
Hello.
God the glory.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Hi. I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri, and I just want to say that we have a representative by the name of Melissa Robinson, who has introduced reparations for the descendants of slaves here in Missouri. We have a long-standing history of slavery in this state. I don't think anybody realizes how deep it really goes if you read the history books of Missouri, how deep it truly goes. And also, I agree with the sister. We do need more candidates that we help from the grassroots. We have too many representatives and senators in office that have absolutely done nothing for Black people. Specifically, one, the Representative Emmanuel Cleaver, who has been a representative of Missouri here in my particular district for many years. And you can see the progress of Kansas City. I mean, you should see there's the white side. They're getting new roads, new buildings, new apartments. They're getting new everything. And then the east side of Kansas City is still the same old crumbling buildings, dilapidated houses, boarded up houses, the biggest potholes in the United States. I think we all have them here in Kansas City. And I just wanted to say that, reparations, the bill for reparations here in Kansas City, just like in California, is going strong. And I'm gonna end it there. Thank you, Bishop, for taking my call.
All right. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm just about out of time. I'll be back with you on Friday morning on the Black Love Experience. So check us out on Friday at 9 a.m. on the Black Love Experience. We're in 2023, y'all. I know y'all made a bunch of resolutions and all that kind of stuff, but have a safe, happy, prosperous new year. I know there are going to be some challenges for us, as there always are during the course of the year, but make the best out of it. Learn from the mistakes of the past. We don't have to bring into 2023 the same things that held us captive or hindered us or held us back, caused us grief and pain in 2022. So we live and we learn and we continue to go from there. Up next is Mid-Morning Jazz. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Those of you who are listening in the Pioneer Valley, don't go nowhere. Those of you who are in the social media space, on the internet, we'll check you out on Friday morning as we continue our conversation on the Black Love Experience. Listen, have a great new year. Go Steelers. And until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, think my voice is coming back a little bit. God loves you. Oh, I'm going to sneak one more call in here. Good morning, caller.
Do you really think your Steelers going to come through, Albert?
What you think? What you think I think? I have hope. Keep hope alive. Who you going for? Who's your team?
Oh, Philadelphia.
Anyway, you're on the wrong side of Pennsylvania.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see in a couple weeks.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right. Until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you, and so do I. Deuces.